What's going on, everybody? We're your hosts from Project SuperVillain. I'm ArcDrifter.
I'm Killboss.
And today we're back with some more news. In fact, this one's another top 5 for the upcoming month of March.
That's right. So we've got 5 new game releases that are coming out. These are just ones that kind of stood out to us, ones that we're hoping to get the chance to check out, and you should too.
Well, without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I want to say right off the bat here is that there's not a whole lot of games coming out this month. It's a very dry month. So the games we have on tap here are cool looking games, but admittedly they're a little lackluster, and we kind of cheated with a couple of them because they're not full games. Some of them are remasters here, so let's just get into it. Number 5 is Overcooked All You Can Eat. It's set to be releasing on March 23rd for all major platforms. So this is going to be a remaster and a bundle. Essentially you're going to have Overcooked 1 and 2 put in the same package, and just rehauled for the first game is going to be redone with the Overcooked 2 engine. So all the updated mechanics and stuff that were in that game that people have come to love are just going to be added into that one. I believe it's all of the mechanics. I'm not 100%. They might keep some of the Overcooked 2 specific features over there, you know what I mean? Like there might be some other things added to that game that they might just keep over there. I wouldn't be surprised. So don't quote me on that part, but do quote me on this. They did add online play to the first one, so that was one feature that a lot of people were really upset wasn't involved in it. They're like, why isn't that a thing? You can now play with your friends online in Overcooked 1 just like you could in Overcooked 2. So that's really cool.
Like, have them both, like all the time. Have both options always.
Yeah.
So it's the same game that it's always been, basically just like a wacky fucking cooking simulator on acid. It's great stuff. This is the kind of shit that Gordon Ramsay nightmares about and shits his pants.
Yeah, it gets so difficult too. Like it starts off easy and fun, and you're all laughs and everything until about halfway through the game, at least in the first one for me.
And then you're like, where's the lamb sauce? Where's the lamb sauce? Take the jacket off and fuck off!
No, chef, don't
get out of my kitchen!
No, chef, please!
Fucking donkey! So
yeah, it's the same game you love, just remastered, all nicely done up. But we're gonna move on to our next title.
Cool. All right, number 4 on our list is a little game called Drifters Loot the Galaxy. That's a mouthful, but definitely looks interesting. It's a third-person hero shooter, so we don't see a lot of hero shooters done in third person, so this is going to be one of those, yeah.
A little different. I mean, we got Rogue Company out there and a couple others, but
most are done in first person.
Yeah, definitely more common in first person, I'd say.
Free to play, so there's that too. It's going to be free to play. It's following that model, which again, we've seen that with a number of different games kind of in this genre, so it's not entirely unexpected, but I think that's a good way to allow people to have access to it, to give it a try, see if you like it, and then if you start getting invested in some of the characters, you know, go ahead, throw some money down and show them some love, because it doesn't look like it's too bad of a game. It'll look like it'll stand up just fine on its own 2 feet.
Yeah, as I was going to say there, the free-to-play aspect of these kinds of games, we've talked about the pros and cons of them. We're not going to get too into it here, but just keep an eye out for those microtransactions, because that's usually what these free-to-play games typically are riddled with. You know, for good reason. They don't make money otherwise, so they got to make it somewhere.
That's right. Just don't be egregious with it. Like, don't charge me $18 for a color skin. Like, that's not going to happen.
We'll see what happens there. But they're emphasizing verticality in this game, so you'll see jetpacks and grapple hooks being used, which, you know, that is really fun. That's a cool aspect. I always enjoy high mobility in my shooter games.
Yeah, it makes them way more fun. It's like Titanfall, but like taken to 11. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree if it's going to be better than Titanfall or anything like that, but it definitely has some character to it.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer Titanfall anyways, but yeah, it looks like it's got those similar things going on for it. Jetpack, grapple hooks.
Yeah, because it's also got this cel-shaded art style, so it definitely is different.
It's cartoony looking, yeah.
It's got this whole cartoony vibe going on.
It is not at all like going to be in the realistic sense of things. Like, this is definitely styled to be like a comic book or something like that. So yeah, you can tell just by looking at it, this is going to have a different feel.
And you can tell just by listening to us, we don't know much about it. So that's all we've got to say for it. Just keep your eye out for that one, and we'll see what happens on release there on the 31st of March.
Cool.
So let's move on to the next one. Number 3. Here's Balan Wonderland, or is it Balan Wonderland? I'm honestly not sure. I could be mispronouncing it. Hopefully I'm not. All major platforms, and it's coming out March 12th, so look forward to that. This game is very interesting because it's got some uniqueness to it here. It's Got some weird Disney influence going on with it, some anime and cartoony vibes. And it's a puzzle platformer, another third person, and there's a lot to it. There's a lot of customization and stuff as well.
Yeah, like for customization, you get a lot of costumes basically. Like I don't know if there's really a character creator or anything like that, but it seems to be that you play as different characters and you get, they're saying up to 80 different costumes that all have their own abilities, which you'll need to progress or solve different puzzles through the game, maybe even just unlock some secrets. So we'll see how that all pans out, but that does sound rather impressive that they're giving you 80 different costumes all with their own abilities. That's fucking cool. There are 12 different worlds too, and each one's supposed to be their own story. So yeah, 12 different stories to play through, all with their own beginning, middle, and end, and probably certain characters. I don't know if any of them carry over, but that's a really cool concept to think about too. You know, it really seems like a bunch of different ideas are amalgamating into an awesome game right here.
I'm getting some Octopath Traveler vibes from that aspect of the game, but that again is pretty well all we know about this one. So again, let's move on to our next pick.
Number 2 on the list, Monster Hunter Rise. That's coming out on Nintendo Switch on March 26th, so that one, definitely a big name release. Lots of people, almost every gamer will know what Monster Hunter is, even if you haven't played it yet. So, like I said, Nintendo exclusive, they generally tend to keep those on their own platforms for the first little bit. I am hoping that it does come to other platforms, but we'll see how that all plays out. Could be a year, it could be a couple years down the road, who knows, it could be even just a couple months, we'll see. But it's just more Monster Hunter, there's no way that can be a bad thing, because Monster Hunter is the tits, man. That's some good ass combat right there, and it's like just really bulky against huge fucking monsters. It's got a lot of weight behind it. That's really fun. They're giving you more options to customize your characters, which is good. We don't know all the details about that, but one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about is you get to choose your voice now. Choosing your voice is just that it's a little thing that adds a little more personality. You know, you can feel more related to your character. I like that.
Yeah, apparently adding more of that to it, so that's really cool to see. One thing they are adding actually is the Palamutes, and if you're not sure what those are, essentially they're just adding dogs to the game. You had your cats, they're called Palicos. If anybody's not familiar with those, then you're probably not familiar with the Monster Hunter universe. Palicos have been around forever. They're your little helper cat friends. I like that because you can customize those guys. You can put your own fucking little kitty in the game, and they're helpful. They have been relegated to strictly support characters for this game, because the Palamutes, the dog characters, are going to be mainly for offense. So they're going to be there to attack, and I think you can ride them as mounts. It looks like you can go straight up a vertical cliff on them. Like, that's wild, man.
It's like, Jesus Christ, what do you feed those dogs, man? That's some serious roids.
I don't know, but that one right there looks like Rapide from Tales of Vesperia. Tell me it isn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just another form of companion, which, you know, a lot of people in the Monster Hunter universe already really care for. They love having the ability to add their own little animal to their crew. And you have the option of having both a Palamute and a Palico, so you can have one of each, or you could have 2 Palicos or 2 Palamutes if you're a dog person or a cat person, or you want to mix it up. Which, you know, more options the better. Yep. I think that's really cool.
That's right, guys. But yeah, that's it for Monster Hunter. I mean, it's coming out soon, so keep your eyes open. We're going to move on to the next game.
So, we're going to hit you guys with an honorable mention here with Binding of Isaac Repentance. This is a DLC. We're cheating here. I told you guys we were going to do that. There's a couple, there's not much games coming out this month, so I apologize. We usually like to do full games here.
But this does look pretty substantial for a DLC.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you guys aren't familiar with The Binding of Isaac, I'm not really either. I haven't played it, but I really am interested in it because it's got this spooky, sometimes downright disturbing visual aspect to it, and it's got this grim and dark story. It's very intriguing. I really want to try it.
Yeah, and it, like for anyone that's not played it before, it's a stick shooter, you know, played from an isometric view. Got a dungeon crawling aspect to it, so you know,
yeah, like
fighting monsters, bosses, enemies, that kind of stuff.
You guys probably know more about it than we do, honestly. Binding of Isaac's a cool ass game, and we're probably gonna give it a try at some point. But yeah, I do think the dungeon crawler aspect. I think there's multiple rooms you can choose to go in, and it's kind of like a puzzle of trying to get out. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. So go check that game out if you're interested in the visuals you see on the screen there, or if anything we're talking about interests you at all. Go check out The Binding of Isaac, and then get the DLC if you like it.
Oh, finally, we've come to number 1, and it's another game from Joseph Fuck the Oscars Ferris!
One of our favorite guys, man.
Yeah,
He's
fucking
awesome.
cool. Yeah, It Takes Two is the next game from Hazel Light Studios. That's coming out all major platforms on March 26th as well. So that one definitely looking forward to because we're gonna play that in co-op, and that's
Oh, yeah.
that's basically what it is. It's just another co-op game by this studio, you know, on that level of quality that you've come to expect from Hazelight so far.
So please tell me you've played A Way Out. If not, then you gotta go do that before this game comes out, because A Way Out is not even a long experience. If you get a friend, you can play for free, which is another thing they're adding over to It Takes Two. So the Friends Pass gives you free co-op, so once you get the game, you can tell a friend, if you have a friend who wants to play with you, they can just go sit at home at their house, and you give them a code, and they put the code in, and they get to play with you for free. It's awesome. It's such a great business model. Very consumer-friendly practice from EA. I mean, obviously Hazelight's the one that did this, but EA's sitting back and letting it happen, so we gotta give them props for not fucking it up.
They're just footing the bill, and it's like, just do that all the time. Like, don't touch anything, just give them money, and don't touch anything. That's all you gotta do, and you'll get your money back.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So the game clearly has lots of puzzles, platforming involved. It's got combat, even exploration looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you played A Way Out, you might be aware that the game consisted of many different mini games almost. It was an amalgamation of a bunch of different games kind of thrown into one, and it created a really great co-op experience. That's kind of looks like what It Takes Two is trying to do here again.
Yeah.
Except they are putting a little bit more focus on the platforming, which I think that's a good idea, because it fits the world, first of all, and second of all, platforming is lots of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
it's a very good co-opable game mode. Is that a word?
I don't think it's a word, but we made it one now, so you know what? Put that in the dictionary, Webster.
Co-opable. Alright guys, that's going to be it for our top 5 for March. Come back next month for the April one, but we're going to have lots of cool news in between there too. Make sure you tune in to GNN every week. We'll have awesome news for you guys every time.
Yep, so make sure you stay tuned next week and every week. We will always be covering some awesome gaming-related news here at twitch.tv/NestHQTO. You can follow them right here, and you can also check them out on other social media at NestHQ.
Yeah, go check out the YouTube specifically if you miss any of the content. You can find the full episodes uploaded there afterwards. So just NestHQ on any platform pretty well, and you can get caught up with what's going on. You can even follow us at Project SuperVillain, so go to twitch.tv/Project SuperVillain want to catch us stream, and we appreciate that. But that's going to be it for our news segment this week, guys, so we'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.